Hi everyone. Today I wanted to talk about something that I've been thinking about lately with regards to the FJ types. So as an FE user, and this is maybe something that a lot of FI users could relate to as well, maybe people in general at different points in their life, I feel like FE, the first information that FE will notice in any situation is whether certain information might hurt or offend somebody. They're very sensitive to people's reactions, to people's emotional reactions to things, to what is appropriate to say in a certain situation, kind of the social rules that govern how we interact with each other and what's considered civil or kind or courteous interaction. But sometimes I think I start to feel like I am fracturing myself internally. And what I mean by that is maybe I won't say exactly what I mean in a certain situation. I won't say the exact truth of what I want to say because I'm worried that I will hurt or offend somebody. Um, and I think what I've been trying to do lately is like asking myself, how do I bring these two aspects of myself together? How do I bring together this harmony seeking aspect that comes really naturally to me with this sort of um, orientation towards or value that I place on TI truth and standing in my truth and speaking my truth. Because I find that a lot of times I will again, not really say what I mean, and it kind of warps the message. It kind of it does something to the actual content of the message to where it's not quite as clear as maybe it could be. And I notice that I do this a lot even in small kind of situations, and I've been working on trying to be more direct. Even at work with my supervisor, who is a TE type. I think he's an INTJ. I feel like oftentimes I'm not being quite forward enough in saying what I need or speaking my mind, and I think he gets a little confused by that. And it's like, okay, so how can I be a little more direct? And then, more serious situations like in romantic relationships where I just felt like I wasn't fully expressing who I was or I wasn't able to for some reason. And I think that's really just because I was stopping myself from doing that because I feared the reaction of the other person. And this is really no way to live. It makes you feel, again, fractured internally, like you're not really showing up to the world as your full self. Um, I do think that this harmony sort of seeking aspect of FE can be a powerful tool in um, getting a message across effectively to as many people as possible. But I also think it can become toxic, especially to the person who is um, maybe using FE in this way, because internally it just makes you feel like what you really think and what you have to say and how you feel doesn't really matter. Um, I do think the FJs have a good knack for explaining how they feel and why they feel a certain way. We tend to really not like it when people just give their opinion without any context in a way that kind of sounds like they're forcing it on you, and that can be really grating. And I think FJs are usually pretty good at um, kind of tailoring their message to um, crafting it in such a way that it comes across well to the most amount of people. But the truth is that really you don't owe anybody your explanation, and nobody owes you theirs. And this can be a hard thing to accept when you want everything to be kind of um, nice and harmonious and make sense to you all the time, but that's just really not how the world works. And it's impossible to um, to make sure that nobody ever has a bad reaction to you. I think that when FE sort of becomes unbalanced, it becomes more about managing other people's reactions than it does about standing in your own truth. And I think that's a problem, because you can't manage everybody's reactions. That's impossible. And that would be infringing on other people's sort of individuality and preferences anyway. But this is something that I've struggled with. I feel like every time I've hurt or offended somebody, not that this has been super often, but every time that that's happened to me, it's been a time that I had no idea that I was doing that. I could not predict it. That's because it's really hard to predict how people are going to react to the different things that you say and do. So I think it's important as FJs, or if you're just someone who struggles with this in general, one thing that I've found is helpful is before I say something, and when in the times that I can catch myself doing this and sort of stop and reflect and be more mindful, I stop myself from reacting immediately to things. And I'll think about, okay, what do I really want to say in this scenario? How do I really want to approach this? What is the thing that I really think? Before responding sort of out of a instinctual or kind of knee-jerk reaction to appease or make the other person feel good or something, but really thinking about what is true in this situation and how can I express that while still being true to my desire to maintain as much peace and harmony as possible. And the truth is, like, we may feel a responsibility with FE to have people react to us a certain way, or make our message palatable, but the truth is that that's really not our responsibility. I think we can do it well fairly often, but we are not obligated to have people react to us a certain way, and I think that's really important to remember. And you are also not obligated to, if somebody is upset with you, that's not necessarily on you to fix that. That's their reaction to manage and their own feeling to deal with. And the same with your feelings. Other people are not responsible for making you feel good all the time, fixing how you feel. That's really not anybody else's responsibility but yours. So that's just a question I've been asking myself lately. Like, am I fracturing myself to try to make somebody else more whole? And the truth is, you simply can't. You're responsible for your own wholeness, as corny as that might sound. Like, it's true. So anyway, just thought I would share that. And let me know if you guys struggle with something similar, if you have anything to add on to this. Just any thoughts at all about this. This is kind of something I'm still like trying to work out and think about. So yeah, hope you guys are having a lovely day.